Maria Agnesi. She was born in May 16th in 1718 in Milan and died in January 9th in 1799. In the 18th century, Europe women were not expected to pursue higher education in any field and were thought to be especially unsuited for technical subjects such as mathematics. However, there was one remarkable woman who would defy all the rules, become a famous mathematician, and be the first woman ever appointed as a professor of mathematics at a university. Her name was Maria Gatiana Agnesi, and although she made huge contributions to mathematics early in her life, she never considered it to be her true passion. But she was a mathematician and a philosopher, and a woman in the Western world, as mentioned earlier, would have never achieved a reputation in mathematics, and she was the first one. She provided a systematic treatment of algebra, including new developments as integral and differential calculus. She also wrote books. In 1738, she wrote her first book, which was Propositions of Philosophy, and was published. This book contained essays that were summaries of some of the discussions that she had held with her father's intellectual friends. And around the time her first book was published, she began working on what would become her masterpiece. She wanted to write a comprehensive mathematics textbook that she planned to use to teach her brothers. And in this book, which she ended up publishing it, had two volumes and was called Institutional and Analytics. She explained complex topics of algebra to calculus and including lots of examples. After the textbook was published in 1748, it was quickly used throughout Italy to teach mathematics, and the book was translated into several other languages and spread throughout Europe, and eventually becoming the prominent math textbook used in Western world for many years. One of her most important developments was called the Witch of Agnesi. It's a cubic curve that was first studied by Pierre de Fermat in 1630, which was another mathematician that we could have chosen. She referred to it using the word versera, which is derived from a verb that means to turn. However, when the book was translated into English, the translator made a mistake and thought the word was aversera, which means wife of the devil or witch. And because of the misunderstanding, the curve was called the Witch of Agnesi in the English translation. This common curve is Maria Agnesi's most famous contribution to mathematics, even though the name came about by accident. And the curve known as the Witch of Agnesi can be found in mathematics textbooks through the English-speaking world even. This curve describes a driven oscillator near resonance, the spectral line distribution of optical lines and X-rays, and the amount of power that is dissipated in resonance circuits. Today, Agnesi's curve is used primarily as a modeling and statistical tool. Some computer models for weather and atmospheric conditions, for example, use Agnesi's curve to model topographic peaks of terrain. It can also be used as a distribution model, substituting for the standard bell curve model in statistics. And it can be difficult to integrate over a specific range using the bell curve. The Witch of Agnesi's algebraic expression is relatively straightforward in contrast and easier to integrate. Here we have a quick demonstration on how the Witch of Agnesi works. We will quickly demonstrate how to solve problems with the Witch of Agnesi.